And with that, we are going to get into Chapter 31.
Chapter 31 is a difficult choice. So where we left off, Jevil and his crew of plague hunters had just found out that Volke is plague-ridden, so they are going to hunt them down. So Volke is really preparing to fight Jevil. Luther says that the plague hunters and the lackeys are really just doing their job, so almost in mercy to them, try and be nice to them, but I think there's only so much you can do with Jevil there. The fun part of this is both Volke and Jevil can merge with their eldrin, so everybody gets leveled up in this case for the fight. Jevil again demonstrates that he doesn't really know how the terrors work and just kind of blindly throws them out, impacting everybody but Volke, who's immune to them. So the one person he was trying to take down didn't have any effect on. We
remember, Master Arcanist. Air quotes heavily.
Graduated last in his class, probably. Yeah, he really does struggle throughout this book and just understanding magic as a whole. But we do get to see kind of a few interesting uses of his own magic in this case. So Volke does get in a nice hit with Retribution. Jevil takes that blood, ends up throwing it, morphing it into daggers. Again, doesn't realize that Volke has armor, so this doesn't really impact him at all. But he does realize that he can kind of throw it around elsewhere as well and use it in other ways. Adelgis, not exactly a brawler by any means, but he can put people to sleep. So he goes around just kind of touching people, putting them to sleep, helping out on the backside.
Heck yeah. Freaking Adelgis just be touching people and knocking them out.
I know, it's almost easier. They don't even see it coming. Volke does end up getting a hit in on one of the lackeys, and one of the things that he notices is, in this case, where it's not an Arcanist that he's fighting, there is actually resistance against Retribution, so it seems like it has its superpower against magical items or magical beings. As they're fighting, Jevil does end up getting a few more hits in on Luther, but none of them actually get to Volke. But Volke is really worried that he's going to cut through the armor at some point, so he does unmerge just so that they are safe and that Luther doesn't get infected with the plague. Jevil decides to go after Adelgis, so very smartly Volke grabs him, shadow steps into a building, scares the living daylights out of the family who's in the middle of this building, throws them a bunch of coins as if to cover, hey, here's sorry for breaking your window.
Hey, at least he tried, okay? Tried to give them something for the damaged window and the emotional trauma that is what happened.
Yes, it's funny, and I think it's great because he then stays in the room with the family to almost prepare for Jevil coming to get him. So he breaks out his pistol, and as soon as someone steps through the door, he shoots at him, but realizes it's not Jevil, it's not even an Arcanist, so the special magic with the bullets isn't going to have any extra impact. Instead, Jevil ends up jumping in through the window, slashing at Volke. Volke is able to almost fight off with shadows instead of with his sword, grab the scythe, move it around. As they're tumbling about, someone bumps into Jevil, not Adelgis this time. And suddenly Jevil is being played as a puppet, says that he's going to go the other way, and kind of waltzes off and leaves the area. So we do discover that this is Karna at work with her doppelganger magic. So she's much better at really playing the villains. So Jevil is a very easy personality to take on. They do have to hurry. So Devlin had to stop the aura because bounty hunters were coming to the ship. So they don't have the coverage of the sandstorm anymore. So they race back to the ship. They end up going to Jose's cabin where they meet up with Thane. And Adelgis and Jose have also returned with a bunch of extra books, including one that has a chain attached, meaning that they stole it from the restricted area in the library. Cue Harry Potter music.
Tisk tisk.
I know. And Adelgis's thought is they can't use the Kepra magic, but they can make a trinket out of the Kepra, which would likely cure the plague.
Volk does say no to this, and good for Volk. True to character here, like there's no deviation on it. Volk is adamant about not wanting to basically make an entire mystical creature, like a type of mystical creature, go extinct because of this. And Jose does kind of mention, if we just use the pink sand for soul, maybe it'll take longer for them to to come back together. But maybe they could at some point. And I think Volk does make the solid decision of just flat out saying no. I'd rather not be cured and have a temporary fix to the problem than to completely kill off pretty much all of the Kepras.
Yeah, he realizes he is not as important as the 5 Kepra that are remaining, 6 Kepra that are remaining. So even with kind of the plague impacting his decision making, we do see that noble attitude coming through. The other thing that Adelgis was able to pick up on is based on the letters that they got from Thiessen, he is likely heading to what's known as the excavation site, and he likely already has a cure for the plague. So they would just need to get the cure from him and then apply it. And with that, our whirlwind of an adventure of a chapter comes to an end.
Just still imagining Volk standing in the middle of these people's house, just being like, I don't really know how much this is, but here you go. Sorry.
Hope I didn't ruin your dinner. It is one of the best scenes throughout the book is just him obviously feeling so bad for breaking into a family's house.
And again, just him all of a sudden pulling out a pistol and shooting the person that walks through the door. Just like, crap. I don't want to do this, but I have to.
Yeah, he did.
I'm sorry.
He doesn't even keep going through he just stays in the house. He's like, this is a good defensible position. We're going to set up a bunker here.
We do want to thank everybody for listening, and we want to make mention that Time Marked Warlock will be out for ebook and audiobook on the same date on August 20th. That'll be about 3 weeks from the episode that this episode airs. So be on the lookout for it for those that enjoy Shammy Stovall's works. I know, as being part of the advanced reader's copy, the book is amazing. Obviously, won't say anything until it's released. But Shammy has gotten many a glowing review so far. We are all excited, I'm sure, to have that released, and I'm excited to see how well it does, being part of that team. So is there anything else you want to add in, Scott?
No, I'm just excited for her to come out with more and more series, like being a part of it as well, reading through it. It's extremely good if you're a fan of kind of the magic mystery type of deal. Jim Butcher, any of his works, it's very much along a similar line. If you looking for something else along with Shammy's works, the Nexus Games is a great literary RPG series. I know she's got like the Star Mark. She's got a couple other series as well. But with that, I think we'll end this week's episode, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Eric, Scott, and I want to thank everyone for listening today. We post a new episode every Wednesday morning at 11 Eastern, 10 Central, and 8 Pacific Standard Time. We are on all podcasting platforms and are also on YouTube as well for video. After the additional episode airs, we post chapter-by-chapter videos every day in a smaller, easier-to-digest format. We do want to give a special shout-out to the final member of our team, Dan Mackison, one of the admins for the Frith Chronicles Wiki, link listed below, and doing his best to keep everything running smoothly behind the scenes. If you want to reach out to us, you could email us at frithguildpod@gmail.com or on Facebook or any other social media by searching for Frith Guild Podcast. Just to remind everybody, we have links to everything in the description below on both the podcast and YouTube.
My mouse died, and then I'm charging it right now, and then it disconnected.
Oh no. Gotta go back to